Kill all stress. 4 hours of Stoic meditation to kill overthinking forever. Right now your mind is at war with itself. Not with the world. Not with other people. Not with your circumstances. With itself. The same thoughts cycling. The same fears returning. The same conversations replaying. The same worst-case scenarios constructing themselves in vivid detail inside a mind that cannot stop. That will not stop. That has been running this same exhausting program for so long that you have begun to believe this is simply how your mind works. It is not. What you are experiencing is not your natural state. It is not the inevitable condition of a thinking person. It is not something you are simply built to carry for the rest of your life. It is overthinking, and it is killing you. Slowly, quietly, without ever landing a single visible blow. The stress you feel is not coming from what is happening to you. The Stoics proved this 2,000 years ago with a clarity that modern neuroscience has now confirmed. Your stress is coming from what your mind is doing with what is happening to you. The story it is telling. The catastrophes it is constructing. The relentless, exhausting, never-ending commentary it is running over a reality that is almost always far more manageable than the mind's version of it. And today, in this video, in this extended meditation, we are going to kill it. Not manage it. Not reduce it. Not cope with it. Kill it. Welcome to Wisdom Unlocked. If you are here for the first time, you found this exactly when you needed it. Every week on this channel, we go deep into Stoic philosophy and translate ancient wisdom into real, practical tools for the life you are living right now. Subscribe before we begin. Hit that button. Turn on the notification bell. Because what we build here every week is something your mind genuinely needs. Now, settle in. Clear your space. This is going to take time, and it is going to be worth every minute. Let us begin. What stress actually is. Before we can kill something, we need to understand exactly what it is. And most people have fundamentally misunderstood stress their entire lives. They believe stress is caused by events, by circumstances, by the difficult things that happen and the hard situations they face. They believe that if their circumstances were different, if the job were better, the relationship easier, the finances more stable, the future more certain, the stress would go away. This belief is the most dangerous lie the mind tells, because it makes your peace of mind permanently hostage to things you cannot control. The Stoics identified this error with surgical precision. Epictetus, a man whose circumstances were genuinely catastrophic, who was born into slavery and whose physical freedom was stripped from him entirely, wrote the foundational line of Stoic philosophy about this. He wrote, "Men are disturbed not by the things which happen, but by the opinions about the things." Not by the things. By the opinions about the things. Your stress is not in your circumstances. It is in your mind's interpretation of your circumstances. In the meaning your mind assigns to what happens. In the story your mind constructs around the event. In the catastrophic conclusion your mind rushes toward before the situation has even fully unfolded. This is what overthinking actually is. It is your mind adding layer upon layer of interpretation, projection, and catastrophe onto a reality that is, at its core, usually far simpler and far more manageable than your mind's version of it. Think about the last time you were genuinely stressed. Not the event itself. The mental activity around the event. The replaying. The anticipating. The constructing of worst-case scenarios. The imagining of how badly it could go. The reviewing of how badly it already went. The wondering what other people thought. The questioning of your own judgment. The circular reasoning that led nowhere except deeper into the same loop. None of that was the event. All of that was your mind. Working against you. Generating suffering from raw material that, on its own, did not require suffering. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." More in imagination than in reality. That sentence contains the entire diagnosis of overthinking. The suffering is real. But the source of the suffering is not the situation. It is the imagination's engagement with the situation. The mind's compulsive tendency to enlarge, extend, catastrophize, and complicate what is in front of it until the simple becomes overwhelming and the manageable becomes unbearable. Marcus Aurelius understood this from personal experience. He faced genuine external catastrophe, plague, war, betrayal, loss, and wrote constantly about the practice of refusing to add mental suffering to physical difficulty. He wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Revoke at any moment. Not eventually. Not after months of therapy. Not once circumstances improve.
À any moment.
Right now. In this breath. In this choice. The power to revoke your estimate, to withdraw the catastrophic interpretation and replace it with a clear, calm, accurate assessment of what is actually in front of you. That power was always yours. The practice of Stoic meditation is the practice of learning to use it. Settling the mind. The first meditation. We are going to move now into the first meditation. And I want you to actually do this. Not just listen. Do it. Find a comfortable position. You can sit. You can lie down. You can close your eyes or keep a soft downward gaze. Whatever allows your body to be still and your mind to be present. Take 3 deep breaths. Not performative breaths, genuine ones. Slow inhale. Hold. Slow exhale. Feel the body release a fraction of its held tension with each exhale. Not forced, just allowed. The first meditation is called the clearing. The Stoics began every serious philosophical practice with what they called epictetus, a suspension of judgment. A deliberate, temporary pause in the mind's constant activity of evaluating, interpreting, and reacting. Not a suppression of thought. A stepping back from it. Becoming the observer of the mind's activity rather than the participant in it. Here is how you practice it. As you breathe slowly and regularly, begin to notice your thoughts. Do not engage with them. Do not follow them. Do not push them away. Simply notice them arriving. Name them neutrally as they appear. That thought is about work. That thought is about the future. That thought is about something that happened yesterday. That thought is a fear. That thought is a worry. That thought is a memory. Not, I am worried about work. But, a thought about work has arrived. Do you feel the difference? In the first version you are the worry. In the second version you are the witness of the worry. And the witness cannot be consumed by what it is watching. This is the fundamental Stoic move. The creation of distance between you and your thoughts. The recognition that you are not your overthinking. You are the awareness inside which overthinking occurs. And awareness cannot be stressed. Awareness cannot be overwhelmed. Awareness can only observe. Stay with this for a few minutes. Continue to breathe slowly. Continue to name thoughts as they arrive without engaging with them. Work, fear, memory, future, worry, past. Name each one and let it pass like a cloud moving through a clear sky. The sky does not chase the cloud. The sky does not become the cloud. The sky simply holds the space through which the clouds move. You are the sky. The thoughts are the clouds. This clearing practice, done daily, even for 5 minutes, begins to build the most important capacity in the entire Stoic toolkit. The capacity to observe your own mind without being enslaved by it. The capacity to watch stress arise without becoming stress. To watch fear arrive without becoming fear. To watch the overthinking begin without being pulled into the spiral. Marcus Aurelius practiced this every morning. He wrote, "Begin the morning by saying to yourself, I shall meet with a busybody, the ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful, envious, unsocial." And then, having seen it clearly, having named it precisely, he moved through it.
Indisturbed.
Because the seeing had given him the distance that prevented the being overwhelmed. Stay in this clearing space for as long as you need. There is no rush. There is nowhere else to be. This moment, this breath, this practice, this is exactly where you are supposed to be. The Stoic understanding of the present moment. Most of your stress does not live in the present moment. Sit with that sentence for a moment, because it is one of the most practically transformative truths the Stoics ever articulated. Right now, in this exact moment, what is actually wrong? not in your imagination, not in your projections about next week or next year, not in your memory of what went wrong last month. Right now, in the actual present moment, in this breath. Almost always, the answer is that the present moment is manageable, quiet, even fine. The stress lives elsewhere. It lives in the mind's construction of a future that has not happened, in the mind's rehearsal of conversations that may never occur, in the mind's replay of events that are already over, in the mind's extrapolation of current difficulties into permanent catastrophes that the present moment simply does not contain. Marcus Aurelius wrote about this with the urgency of someone who understood it not as philosophy but as survival practice. He wrote, "Confine yourself to the present, not as spiritual advice, as practical instruction, as the most direct route to killing the stress that is being manufactured by temporal displacement, by a mind living everywhere except where it actually is." Let us do the second meditation. The present moment anchor. Bring your awareness fully into your physical experience right now. Not your thoughts about your physical experience. The direct, immediate, sensory reality of this moment. Feel the surface beneath you, the weight of your body, the temperature of the air, the rhythm of your breath, the sounds in the space around you, the physical sensation of being alive in this moment. These sensations are happening now, not in the future, not in the past. No. And here is the extraordinary thing about full physical presence. The mind cannot fully catastrophize and fully feel its physical reality at the same time. The overthinking requires temporal displacement. It needs your attention to be in the future or the past. When you anchor yourself firmly in the present through physical sensation, you remove the fuel that overthinking runs on. The body is always in the present moment. The mind is almost never in the present moment. And when you bring the mind into the body's reality, when you collapse the distance between where you are thinking and where you actually are, the overthinking loses its grip. Breathe slowly. Feel the breath in your body, not as a concept, as a physical sensation. The rise of the chest, the expansion of the belly, the slight coolness of the air entering, the warmth of the air leaving. This breath, this moment, this physical reality. Seneca wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have." Rest satisfied with what we have, in this moment, which is always, always more than the overthinking mind believes it is. Stay here, in the body, in the breath, in the actual present moment, for as long as you can. Each time the mind pulls toward the future or the past, notice it, name it, and return to the breath, to the body, to now. This is not escapism. This is not avoidance of real problems. Real problems exist and will need to be addressed, but they will be addressed with far greater clarity, creativity, and effectiveness from a mind that is present than from a mind that is spinning in a stress loop. The present moment is where your power lives. The future is where your fear lives. And the Stoic practice is the constant, patient, daily choice to come home. The dichotomy of control as stress medicine. If there is one Stoic teaching that functions as the most direct and complete medicine for stress, it is this one. The dichotomy of control. And I want to go deeper into it than most people do, because most people hear it and nod, and then continue to suffer over things outside their control, which means they understood it intellectually but have not yet felt it in their body as a lived conviction. We are going to change that today. Epictetus opened his entire handbook on life, the Enchiridion, with this teaching, the very first words he ever wrote for public consumption. Not buried in chapter 7. First, because he knew it was the foundation of everything else. He wrote, "Some things are in our control and others are not. Things in our control are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion, and in a word, whatever are our own actions. Things not in our control are body, reputation, command, and in one word, whatever are not our own actions." Two categories. Everything in existence falls into one of these two categories. In your control. What you think, what you choose, what you value, how you respond, the quality of your character, the direction of your attention. Not in your control. Everything else. Every outcome. Every other person's behavior. Every external event. Your health. Your reputation. The economy. The future. The past. What people think of you. Whether things go as planned. Now here is the stress diagnosis this framework provides. Every single stress thought you have ever had, go back and examine it. Every anxiety, every worry, every sleepless night, every spiral of overthinking. What was it about? Was it about something in your control or something outside your control? If you are honest, and I mean genuinely, ruthlessly honest, almost all of it was about things outside your control. The outcome of the meeting, whether the person texts back, whether the investment holds, whether the health scare is serious, whether the relationship survives, whether people approve, whether things work out. None of those things are in your control, and the stress you are generating about them is not solving them. It is not making the outcome more favorable. It is not giving you information or capacity or advantage. It is pure suffering, generated voluntarily, about things you cannot change. Let us do the third meditation, the control audit. Bring to mind one thing that is currently causing you stress, one specific thing. Hold it gently in your awareness without engaging with the stress around it. Now ask, is this thing itself in my control? Be specific. Be honest. Strip away everything except the core question. Is this situation, this outcome, this circumstance, is it mine to control? If yes, what specific action is available to you right now? Not everything that needs to happen. The one next action that is actually yours to take. Name it, commit to it, and then release the stress around it, because you have converted the stress into action. And action is always more useful than anxiety. If no, and most of the time the honest answer will be no, then complete the sentence deliberately and out loud if you can. This is outside my control. My suffering about it changes nothing. I release it. Not because it doesn't matter. Not because you don't care. But because suffering over what you cannot control is not strength or love or responsibility. It is simply waste. The waste of the one resource, your mental and emotional energy, that you actually need for the things that are yours. Marcus Aurelius did this constantly. He faced genuinely terrible things. Plague that killed millions, wars that seemed endless, the death of children. And he returned to this practice again and again. Not because he was numb, but because he knew that the energy spent in anguish over what he could not change was energy stolen from what he could. Breathe through this. Feel the release, even a partial one, that comes from genuinely, honestly sorting what is yours from what is not. From taking full ownership of your domain and fully releasing everything outside it. This is not resignation. This is the most active, the most powerful, the most responsible position a human being can occupy. Taking complete responsibility for what is yours, and complete peace about what is not. The meditation on impermanence. There is a practice the Stoics use that sounds, at first hearing, like it should make stress worse. And then, when you actually sit with it, makes it dissolve. It is the meditation on impermanence. The recognition that everything is temporary. Every difficulty, every stress, every worry, every worst-case scenario, and also every comfort, every pleasure, every achievement, every relationship, every moment of joy. Everything passes. Marcus Aurelius wrote about this with remarkable regularity throughout his journals. He would contemplate the great figures of history, emperors, philosophers, warriors, leaders, and note that all of them were gone. Their fame, their worries, their triumphs, their catastrophes, all dissolved into the same silence. He wrote, "Time is a river of vanishing moments, not nihilistically, not as a reason to despair, as a reason to be free." Because here is what impermanence does to stress. It gives every difficulty a shape, a boundary, a duration. The stress you are carrying right now is not permanent. It cannot be permanent. Nothing is. This difficulty, however real, however heavy, however seemingly immovable, will pass, has an end, will become, eventually, a memory, and then, further on, not even that. And the thing you are most afraid of, the worst case you have been constructing in your mind, the catastrophe you are spending your energy trying to prevent, that too is temporary. Even if it happens, even if the worst arrives, it too will pass, has a shape, has a duration, cannot last forever because nothing lasts forever. Let us move into the fourth meditation, the impermanence practice. Bring your awareness to the stress you are carrying, the specific weight of it, the particular color and texture of this current difficulty. And now, slowly, allow yourself to see it from a longer perspective. Not this week, this year. Where will this specific stress be in a year? Will it still have this same weight, this same urgency? Or will it have transformed, resolved, dissolved, become something different, become part of a story you tell about a time that was hard? Go further. 5 years. Where is this stress in 5 years? Is it still present? Or has life moved on in ways you cannot currently imagine? Ways that made this particular weight feel, in retrospect, like one chapter in a much longer story. Now, and this is the deepest part of the practice, go to the end of your life. Imagine yourself, old, looking back at this period, at this specific stress, at this exact worry that is consuming you right now. Does it still carry the same weight? Does it still carry the same weight from that vantage point? Or does it look different, smaller, more manageable, even important in ways you cannot see from inside it? This is not about dismissing what you are feeling. The present pain is real. The Stoics never denied that. What they offered was the perspective that can prevent present pain from becoming permanent suffering. The recognition that this moment, however difficult, is one moment in a long life, and that the long life, looked at from its end, will contain both the difficulties and the ways through them.
Seneca, omnia aliena sunt, tempus tantum nostrome.
Everything is alien to us. Only time is truly ours. The time you spend in this stress, this is your time. The only time you have. And the Stoic practice is to spend it with as much clarity, as much presence, as much genuine engagement with what actually matters, as possible. Let the impermanence of this difficulty be not a source of despair but of relief. It is passing. It is already passing, and you are more than it. The body and the stressed mind. Stoicism is not purely a philosophy of the mind. The Stoics understood, with a sophistication that anticipates modern neuroscience, that the mind and body are one system, and that stress, as a mental event, is simultaneously a physical event, felt in the body, stored in the body, and, crucially, addressable through the body. Marcus Aurelius wrote about the body's role in mental discipline frequently. He understood that a body that was cared for, rested, moved, disciplined, was a body that supported a clear mind. And a body that was neglected or ignored was a body that amplified mental suffering. Epictetus, whose body had been physically abused in his captivity, wrote about the relationship between physical sensation and mental state with the intimate understanding of someone who had no choice but to navigate it. He taught his students to use the body, its breath, its posture, its physical experience, as an anchor against the mind's tendency to spiral. Let us do the fifth meditation. The body release. Begin by scanning your body slowly from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. Not looking for anything specific. Simply noticing. Where is there tension right now? Where is there holding? Where is the stress living in your body? Most people carry stress in predictable places. The jaw, the shoulders, the chest, the stomach, the hands. Without realizing it, the body has been clenching around the mental stress for hours or days, creating a physical contraction that then feeds back into the mental state and amplifies it. As you locate each place of tension, breathe into it, not to force it to release, to bring awareness to it. Because awareness alone, genuine, gentle, non-judgmental awareness, begins to soften what tension has hardened. Breathe into the jaw. Feel it. Let it be exactly as it is. And with the exhale, invite, not force, a small release. A slight softening. Whatever is available without effort. Breathe into the shoulders. The same invitation. The same gentle awareness. The same exhale of release. The chest. The place where stress often creates a physical sensation of weight or constriction. Breathe into it. Expand against it. Let the breath be bigger than the constriction. Feel the constriction soften with the exhale. The stomach. Zugut. Where anxiety so often lives as a physical sensation. Breathe here. Full belly breath. Let the stomach expand completely with the inhale. Let it release completely with the exhale. The Stoics had a word for this bodily equanimity. They called it eupatheiai, the good passions. Emotional states that were not disturbances of reason but expressions of it. Joy without frenzy. Caution without terror. Wishing without desperation. The body in a state of eupatheiai is a body that is present, alive, engaged, and at ease. Not numb. Not switched off. Fully feeling. And fully at peace with what it is feeling. This is the physical state that supports Stoic clarity of mind. And you can move toward it right now, in this breath, through this simple practice of breathing into the held places and inviting them to release. Stay here for as long as you need. There is no destination, no arrival point, just this breath, this body, this gentle, patient practice of releasing what has been held. Killing overthinking at the root. We have cleared the mind. We have anchored in the present. We have applied the dichotomy of control. We have meditated on impermanence. We have released the body's held stress. Now let us go to the root. Because overthinking, the particular form of stress that this meditation is specifically designed to kill, has a root that all of the above practices address, but that deserves its own direct examination. The root of overthinking is the belief that thinking more will solve the problem. It sounds so obvious when stated plainly. Of course, thinking more does not solve most problems. And yet the overthinking mind operates from exactly this belief, that if it just runs the scenario one more time, considers one more angle, imagines one more possibility, rehearses one more response, it will arrive at the certainty, the safety, the control that it is desperately seeking. It will not. It never does. Because the problems that generate overthinking are almost always problems that cannot be solved by thinking alone. They require action, or acceptance, or time, or the willingness to tolerate uncertainty, none of which thinking provides. The Stoics had a direct teaching for this. They called it the test of usefulness. When a thought arrives, particularly a circling, repeating, stress-generating thought, they applied one direct question. Is this thought useful? Not is it true. Not is it interesting. Not does it feel important. Is it useful? Is engaging with this thought moving me toward a better action, a clearer decision, a more honest understanding of what is actually in front of me? If yes, engage with it, deliberately, for a limited, chosen amount of time. Extract what is useful. Make the decision or take the action it points toward. And close the loop. If no, release it. Not through suppression. Through the calm recognition that this thought is not earning its keep. That it is consuming your mental energy without producing anything of corresponding value. And that you are the one who decides which thoughts receive your attention. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." First decide who you are, what you value, what you are going to do, and then do it, without the endless cycling of analysis that delays decision and multiplies suffering. Let us do the final meditation. The root cut. Bring to mind the thought that cycles most persistently, the one that comes back, the one that has visited you 100 times, the one that generates more stress than almost anything else in your mental landscape. Hold it clearly. See it as it is. A thought, not a reality, not a prophecy, not a fact. A thought that your mind has been generating and you have been granting attention. Now ask, is engaging with this thought useful? Is the 100th repetition of this thought producing anything that the first repetition did not? Is more thinking about this moving you forward or keeping you trapped? And then, with as much gentleness and as much firmness as the moment requires, make a decision. If there is an action available to you regarding this situation, name it. Commit to it. Close the loop. If there is no action available, because the situation is outside your control, or because it requires waiting, or because the thing you fear has not yet happened and may never happen, then practice the release. Say it internally or out loud. I have thought about this enough. More thinking will not help me. I release this thought and I return my attention to what is actually mine right now. And return to the breath, to the body, to the present moment, to the life that is actually happening, the one that has been going on while the overthinking was consuming the attention that belongs to it. This is the root cut, not permanent, not a one-time cure, a practice, to be applied every time the cycling begins, every time the overthinking revs up its engine, every time the stress machine starts running the same program again. Notice, question usefulness, act or release, return, every time, as many times as necessary, for as long as it takes. The life without overthinking. I want to close this meditation with a picture, not of perfection, of what becomes possible when the overthinking quiets and the stress loses its grip on your daily experience. What becomes possible is presence, the ability to be genuinely, fully here, with the people you love, with the work you care about, with the simple moments of your life that are passing right now while the overthinking is consuming your attention. What becomes possible is clarity, the ability to see situations as they actually are, not amplified by fear or distorted by catastrophe, and to respond to them with the calm effectiveness of a mind that is working for you rather than against you. What becomes possible is joy, the genuine, unguarded, fully present experience of the things that are good in your life right now, which are always more than the stressed mind can see, always richer than the overthinking mind has time to notice, always closer than the anxious mind believes. Marcus Aurelius wrote near the end of his meditations, "Perfection of character is this, to live each day as if it were your last, without frenzy, without apathy, without pretense." Without frenzy, without apathy, without pretense. That is the life on the other side of overthinking. Not a life without challenges. Not a life without difficulty or loss or uncertainty. A life that meets all of those things from a place of genuine inner stillness. From the unshakable foundation of a mind that has been trained to see clearly, act deliberately, and release completely. You have been building that foundation today. In this meditation, in these practices, in the patient, repeated return to the present moment and the honest examination of what is actually yours. This is not a one-time experience. It is the beginning of a daily practice. Come back to this video. Return to these meditations. Build the capacity through repetition, because the mind, like any muscle, grows stronger through consistent use. And subscribe right now. Hit that button. Turn on the notification bell. Because every week on this channel we go this deep into the Stoic philosophy and practice that actually changes not just how you think, but how you live, how you sleep, how you move through difficult days, how you experience the quiet ones. This is a community of people who have decided that their peace of mind is worth protecting and their inner life is worth building. People who have found in ancient wisdom something real and practical for the most pressing challenges of modern life. There is a place here for you. Subscribe. Share this with someone who is drowning in their own overthinking right now. And come back tomorrow morning and the morning after that. Because the practice continues. And with every return, every breath, every present moment, every released loop of overthinking, you become more of who you actually are underneath all the noise. Quiet, clear, free. Stay disciplined. Stay present. Stay free.